to be here today and anybody who comes on board after today. Okay? With that, Officer, let's hear your prayer.
Good afternoon, ladies. My name is Roy Tagle. Just a real brief background on myself. Former Marine. My first duty station was downtown London, England, protecting a couple of admirals. And after the Marines, Houston's home, and went back and I became a highway patrolman, a state trooper for the Texas Department of Public Safety. And after law enforcement, I became a bodyguard for the owners of Whataburger. And just some really good jobs, but you can tell that I'm a born protector. God blesses you with certain gifts, and we did like a psychological profile, and I'm a born protector. That's my ministry. It's what I do. And so God knew that church security and school security are my passions. So he combined them both for me. And so I really look forward to coming to work every day because I feel like I'm standing that line. I'm that line of defense between any harm, any threat, and the children. So you always see me staying close to the nursery because I want to stay close to our most vulnerable. And so if you're ever out and you're pushing the strollers, you'll see me kind of like stalking you, but I want to deal, God forbid, any mental illness is a concern. And don't get me wrong, my wife works with mental illness, so our heart goes out to that part of our community, but they can be very unpredictable and very dangerous. And so that I feel like that would be a threat here. So I want to deal with anybody that comes on campus, and that allows you to get the children to a more safer area. But we're talking about inclement weather, and so I've been through some incredible. I've been through hurricanes, but we want to take advantage of what we have here in this building, and so you always want to take advantage of the strong. You want to put as many layers as you possibly can between the hazard and the children, and so my understanding is there's a couple of rooms up at the front where our most vulnerable. We're going to move them. I guess we're going to move them into the director's office and the front office. And then I guess for the most part, everybody else kind of stays intact, but you get closer into the more structurally sound part of our building. And my understanding is you've got mattresses that are going to be available to you. So you just want to obviously put something between that child and any debris, because we're assuming that windows are going to get broken out. If that does, then that's just going to create all kinds of more debris within the room. So we just want to try and put as many layers as we can over that child and the hazard. But I'll probably, depending on how bad the storm is, I'll want to come close to the nursery. I want to get as close as I can to this part of the campus. And you guys, everybody, if first aid is required, I know that you guys are more than capable to start assessing and start administering the first aid. And what I'll do is if it's really bad and we've got to have paramedics on their way, I'm going to stage so that I can hurry up and get them to our children, whoever needs it the most. But I'll be here more or less for support, to make sure that if you need anything more, I'm here. I'm first aid certified. I was a first responder. So whatever you guys need, I'll be right in the background. And like I said, I'll be directing outside and to make sure everything flows smoothly. And then I believe we'll be communicating via text message, email, and then we'll also use the PA system. Don't ever hesitate to use this radio. I'll always have it with me, and it's going to be on one. Don't hesitate if you see one available and you need to hurry up and get a hold of me. Just talk normally. Tell me what you got, and I'll get to you as soon as possible. But Miss Annette brought up a good point. Like if you happen to be out, towards the sanctuary, then you're not going to try and come back here. You're going to take a refuge in the sanctuary, and there we'll move into, I guess, the best structurally sound room or area within the sanctuary. And usually, for the most part, it's going to be the bathrooms. The bathrooms are That's a solid. Even when I was with Whataburger, we fortified the bathrooms in case of an active shooter, because we feel those are some of the most structurally sound rooms in the building. If you can imagine your child here and you find out, that Concordia got hit by a tornado, they're going to be frantic, and but make sure that we've documented that you released them to the parent or emergency contact, that we've covered ourselves and we've assured that child has been released to either a parent or the right person. We've got to account for even each other. Make sure, hey, we're so and so. Has anybody seen her? So we got to, checks and balances. We'll look out for each other, and like I said, we're going to support each other. Don't feel like you're going, oh my God, but you've got to think about, what's your responsibility? Who are you in charge of? Make sure that, you've done what you're supposed to do. That way everything else falls into place. We want to make sure that you realize, I even have to familiarize myself with the building and the room numbers. That way you'll know, if you tell me I'm in room, 106, I'll know, okay, and I'll go straight there. But familiarize yourself with, and like I said, what if? Go over the procedures. The procedures are there for the most part so that we'll have a base. But, things can change. You just never know with a disaster like a tornado or a severe storm. But like I said, question yourself. What would happen? What would I do in this situation? Or, so that way, you can't, when God forbid it does happen, you think, I've played this out in my mind before. Let me open it up. Does anybody have any questions? I think, yes, ma'am.
Are they better downstairs or upstairs? Does it matter?
Say again.
In the worship center, if we go take the kids to the bathroom,
Yeah.
would it be better downstairs or upstairs?
Let's.
Does it matter?
I think the ground floor is going to be probably more structurally. The question is, if you're in the sanctuary, and is it better upstairs or downstairs? And I believe the answer is downstairs. But like I said again, if something comes up later, don't hesitate to approach me. For the most part, you'll always see me close to the nursery, and but don't hesitate to ask me, even if it doesn't have to do with inclement weather, active shooter, hard, soft. Whatever we want, whatever you feel like, hey, this thing came to mind, and God forbid it should ever happen. But, what do we do? Don't hesitate to approach me and ask. Yes, ma'am.
So I don't know if you already know the answer to this or something we have to figure out, but say in my classroom there's a situation where say the glass blows in and there's a more serious injury, something that I'm not equipped to handle.
Yeah.
How, I guess we have our radios.
Yeah.
So we can, before we used to have radios, and how would I get a hold of someone to let them know, hey, I have a really serious injury here, like fast. Instead of just, the window is cracked. Or the window blew in but nobody's hurt.
Yeah.
That's one thing, not a problem really. But if someone gets more seriously hurt and needs more help, so I guess someone will be manning radios.
Yeah, I'll always have this with me, and either Jurgen or Annette will be in close proximity. And so we can, something severe like that we need to know, because we can come together. It might be over, what you've been trained to handle,
right.
And then somebody else can step in, and then we can take action until paramedics. But we're going to have, you'll be able to relay that immediately to somebody. And but like I said, if you have any questions, even right now, you'll have some questions, but later on you might think, hey, you know what? This came up later. Let me ask him about this. Don't hesitate to ever ask me. And it doesn't have to be just about storms. It could be about anything. Yes, ma'am.
So I'm just thinking about where to put the children in case there is a storm, because we all have access to bathrooms for the most part, except in the nurseries. So should we put them in the restrooms or just in the closest corner, closest to the hallway, basically?
Good question. She wants to know if you want to utilize the bathroom or a secure corner.
The most structurally sound place is the bathroom. But, you know, you might have a class that's too big to fit into the bathroom. And so depending on where you are, you kind of have to make the best judgment in the moment. And you're going to know that. That's why we do these drills, okay? So, you know, that's a great thing to walk through with Officer Roy or any of us if you want to say, you know, if we had a situation in this room, where's the best place? Bathrooms are always the most secure. You have to think, do I want to stay in there for 30 minutes to a couple hours with this age group? You've got to sustain it. Because some of you have been there when we truly had inclement weather. Anybody remember that? We had that not last year, but the year before, and we were in the area for a long time. So you have to be able to sustain it, but you got to be safe. So it's one of those things. So use your best judgment in the moment. In the event of a true emergency, you know you can get out your cell phones. Okay, those are available to you. You all have the black radios. Make sure you know those yellow and or orange and black radios. Make sure you have them on. They're going to be your best friend. Keep them safe and close to you. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I said, if we do get hit, and now some of the children have been hurt, you know, let us know the severity of it. You know where the injury is, and that way we can do like triage. We'll prioritize the injuries, but we need that information coming in as soon as possible. Any more questions? No, but like I said, you know, remember she's going to buy Cokes for, you know, say what's the heat index? But later on, if anything comes up, please don't. I know I look kind of scary, but I do love, serve, and follow Jesus Christ. I'm on your team, so don't hesitate to ever approach me and ask me. You know, have you ever shot anybody? No, not on purpose, but no, I'm just joking. But I want that kind of relationship with us, where hey, you can say, you know, good morning, how are you? But I don't want any tension between us. I want us to work fluidly together. But if that's it, then I bid you guys a good day. God bless you, and thanks for taking care of the kids for us.